Welcome back to GMA as America tries to come to grips with the mass shootings that continue to plague our country. You know, it's so hard for us to understand and address, but it's even more difficult for our kids.
It really is, and yet it's a conversation many of us are facing all too often. So we have experts here to help us navigate this difficult topic. Psychiatrist Dr. Janet Taylor and author and educator Rachel Simmons. Thank you both for being here and having this very important conversation.
Thank you. And Janet, let's begin with you. So what's your basic advice to parents about how to approach this?
So what parents should do is, first of all, limit screen time, because we want to think about how much exposure our children have, and ask open-ended questions like, tell me what you know about the shootings. And then lastly, think about our role as parents, where we are feeling vulnerable ourselves, but it's our duty to create a safe container for our children. And by helping them reestablish their safety, we also can reestablish our own, because we need a lot of pep talks too.
I remember as a child, when something would happen, I would look to my parents and I would really model my reaction to how they're acting. So parents really need to know this.
It's true. It's so important for us to show our feelings in front of our kids. It's just as important to do that as it is to look tough, because we are cueing our kids about how to cope emotionally. We're giving them guidance on how to feel when a tragedy like this strikes.
But how do you gauge how much to share?
So I think that's the million-dollar question, and I think that's the art of parenting. You don't want to overwhelm your child with too much information. That's why I think Dr. Taylor, we were talking earlier, she said, you know, ask open-ended questions. Ask them what they know, because so often kids get misinformation on the school bus, on the camp bus. You want to find out what they know first.
What should you be on the lookout for if you feel that your child is really struggling?
Well, look at a difference in their activities and how maybe they are more afraid to go to school or want to stay up later if they overeat or undereat. And our children, even though we want them to be in touch with how they feel, they don't often say, I feel this or that, but they may act out or not want to do homework or things like that. So be patient with them, listen, and then if they need an extra cuddle, now's the time for face-to-face time. Turn off those video games. We have to unplug as parents and really pay attention to the nonverbal cues and be there with our kids.
The more that we can do to ease these fears, is there more that we can do to help them in this regard and ourselves?
Well, I mean, number one is we have to tap into our own feelings, but also help them understand life is tough and there are things that are unpredictable, but to the extent that you can help them establish what they're in control of, a safety plan, having their cell phone charged, who they can go to for help, and understanding there are still more good people than bad people. And there are times they're going to be afraid, but they need to come to us and talk to us, because chances are we're afraid too, but we've got them, we'll hold them.
And Rachel, you have a simple exercise that kids can go through if they're feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, when we're anxious, and especially when kids are anxious, their thoughts feel out of control. They can't get out of their head. So I suggest you can just do this in front of your kid. You don't have to make them do it, because if, like me, you have an eye roller at home, you may just want to model it. But you can take a deep breath, count to 3, hold it for 3, and then let it out for 3. So it's sort of 9 seconds of breathing in and breathing out. Do it 3 times. They can kind of drop back into their bodies and feel a lot calmer.
I can remember distinctly as a child coming from the Mississippi Gulf Coast to New Orleans. It was a big city for us to come to. And I just had a panic attack. I couldn't go. We were having lunch, and all of a sudden, something I had watched on TV or something, and I didn't want to go outside. And I remember my parents were really good about not pressuring me and just really having that discussion. But I just can remember vividly just being overcome.
But they were there for you.
They were.
And it's okay to feel scared, too.
It is. And now more than ever, we really need to check in with our kids, like face to face. I can't just emphasize that enough. Just looking at them and talking to them and tune out to all these devices.
And remember, it's okay to be anxious. Like, everyone's anxious right now. The goal is not to stamp out our kids' anxiety. It's to give them a space where they can feel their feelings and also let them know that we're here holding them and that we're going to take care of them.
Don't pretend it's not there.
Yeah, you can't make false promises either. You can't say to your kid, I guarantee everything's going to be okay. But you can say, here are the good people that we know, and here is our home, and we're safe, and we love you, and we're going to try every day to be safe together.
Yeah.
Great advice. Thank you both very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.